All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Word with Ty Brownlow. I am your host, Ty Brownlow. And remember, no one is worthless. No story is worthless. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I have a variety of special guests for you. Man, I have the cast of the new movie, Henry. That's, the short film, Henry, that's about to premiere, or is it about to premiere, Ryan?
You are our premiere interview, and it's about to make its world premiere as well at the Toronto Black Film Festival. So, this is like a preview, and I'm not allowed to release it until at least Thursday on the 15th.
Okay.
In Toronto. So.
Okay. All right.
So this is our preview of previews.
Well, that's quite all right. It's quite all right. Well, let's talk a little bit about Henry. All right. Now, I see you have your, twins there, Ava and Sebastian, who also made their acting debut as well. And also with us, we have Andrea Grant Els. How are you?
Wonderful, thanks.
All right. And we have Miss Kat. How are you?
Hi. Great to be here.
All right. Okay. So let's talk about this movie. And just reading everything about it, Ryan, I found it to be very interesting because I think it's something that I feel sort of goes on a little bit behind closed doors, but no one really talks about it. But let's just dive into it a little bit. Basically, it's about 7-year-old Simon, and I guess there's a death in the family or what have you, and he looks for answers in this artificial intelligence device.
Well, absolutely. First time I ever saw this experience was, getting the Google devices at home.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw these 4-year-old children interacting with it, and all of a sudden, me who usually have answers for them, they weren't turning to me, they were turning to this device. So I was like, this is very interesting. And that's when I engaged them in writing the story and asked Kat, who I was just speaking with for a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been working with Andrea as well. So, I was like, you want to be my wife? She's like, you already have a wife.
Okay, all right. Okay. So, Andrea, let me ask you, how was it working on this project?
It was a real eye opener for me. Like, just to give you a little background, I actually contacted Ryan about helping me put together a scene for my demo reel, because I wanted to have a bit more variety on my demo, a little show more character. So I just wanted a simple scene for Ryan to sort of help me put together so I can add it to my demo reel. And he was like, well, why don't you just do a short film with me? So for me, it was just like, I just want like a 30-second scene, So anyway, so he slowly sort of reeled me into this, and it's been fascinating because I've learned so much about just behind the scenes, everything that is involved in actually putting together a project like this. So it's been really a really good experience for me.
Okay, all right. And Kat, talk about your input in the movie as well.
So I was brought in to be the director, and as Ryan mentioned, we've known each other for how many years now, Ryan?
At least 5 or 6 years now.
5 or 6 years. So we kept running into each other at different networking events in Toronto, and I always knew him as the guy who's just always there at the networking events. And there are a lot of people, that you see over and over, and a lot of them talk a lot, but they don't actually do much. But Ryan was absolutely, you know what I'm talking about. Ryan was absolutely determined we should work together. And at first I said, okay, well, I've heard that before. But he was different. He roped me into this. He can be very persuasive, and he has this big vision. And the two young people that you see sitting there with him were absolutely charming and hardworking and adorable and lovely to work with. And I could not have asked for a better cast.
All right. So let's talk about these people you have with you there, Ryan, Miss Ava, and Mr. Sebastian. How was it working with Dad on this movie?
It was really good.
Love it. I love it. Everything's so unison. All right. All right. It was fun. What was your favorite part of the movie?
When I said Henry, it's a fate.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't quite get that part, Ryan.
She was talking about a part of the performance that she gave,
Oh, okay. All right.
and she was really excited about the discovery. Even though she was part of the script writing process,
Mhm.
she still had an enthusiasm about the entire film. And so,
So let me just ask, just incorporating family into, your script writing, like, how was that? Like, talk about the feeling that brought you, basically having, your son and your daughter be part of the process of making this.
well, they're veterans already. They've been acting since before they came out of the womb. I made a documentary with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I was determined to bring them into the business. My father is a writer, and he didn't really know very much beyond the stage writing process.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as I immersed myself in filmmaking, I got kids, and I wanted to teach them. When we look at other people, oftentimes you see generations of people coming into the business, and you wonder how come that young person is a director already. What is the secret?
Mm-hmm.
And since I have all these equipment and the knowledge and been making the networks,
Mm-hmm.
I was determined to give them an opportunity and a leg up in finding their way, whether it's this business or whatever, but teaching them how to be successful at whatever they do. And that's why I felt it was important to engage them.
Okay. All right. Look, now, is that Sebastian in the picture there? H.E.N.R.I, or I'm sorry, Henry, is that the picture of
That is.
okay, so first and foremost, let me just say I think that's wonderful because you get to see yourself represented pretty much every time you take a look over at the poster. Hey, that's me. Like I actually did this, So Sebastian, I just want to say thumbs up to you, buddy. All right. I'm proud of you. And Ava, you as well, okay? Because I know you had a part of this process, as well. All right. So thumbs up to you guys. Now, I want to swing it over to Kat just for a second because you directed all of this. Now, as I said before, the main premise is a 7-year-old looking for answers from an artificial device after his father's death.
Mm-hmm.
That in itself, I just think the concept in itself is just like very far, man. Like, okay, where did all this come from?
So a lot of the credit has to go to Ryan and his children. They have producing credit on the film, and they also have writing credit along with Ryan. And that is not just in name only. They were very much a part of the process. They would write a draft. I would give notes on the draft. They would go back and rewrite. But it was important to me, and it was important to Ryan that this is not something that he and I create and the kids just kind of get credit. It was important to us that everyone is part of this creative team and everyone contributes. And whether it was in the writing, there were, both of these two people you see sitting right there with Ryan, Ava and Sebastian, they are so creative and so inquisitive. They're twins, but they're completely different personalities and they notice different things. And even when we were in post-production, anybody who's been part of the filmmaking process, once you've seen the film so many times because you're editing it or you're working with an editor, there are certain things you don't notice. And there were a couple of things where they noticed and they had really good notes that we went, oh yeah, wait a minute. That's actually a really good point. We did forget about that. And then we need to make a change in the edit. So I'm really proud of the film, but I'm also proud of, the way that everybody was treated on the film. Everybody who was on the crew and everybody who was part of on the creative side. It was a really fantastic team. And Andrea was wonderful in supporting us in every way that she could in terms of production. And so Andrea, I hope you feel like you're getting the credit, because we could not have done it without everything that you brought to the table. And, I'm just proud of the whole team, and I'm proud of our process.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm going to swing it over here to Andrea. All right, Andrea. Now, come on now. You playing mom, like you have to, navigate a child through this process, like where do you get the focus? Where do you get the strength to pull this off from?
Well, I was really able to, I have children of my own, and I have children similar ages as well. So for me, just pulling on my own experiences, just really like I understand the curiosity of children. I understand the questions that come up. I understand, I don't understand the loss of a husband, but I do understand the loss of a loved one. And I do understand sort of trying to keep the family together and have to be the strong one to keep everything going. So I was really able to kind of just rely on my personal experiences to get through those parts. And I have to give Ryan's kids there, like they really did put, they like Kat said, they have such different personalities, but they're so wonderful to work with. And I'll never forget, there was one part when we were filming, and it was in the beginning when I was just telling them that I love them. And I think I was directing my comments directly just to the boy. And Ava was like, you mean both of us? Like, you love both of us. So we actually changed the script to say, I love you both. And that's like part of the script. So I think that was just so clever and so amazing. But yeah, it's, for me, it was really just about being strong, trying to be strong, but still like acknowledging the grief that I was feeling inside, and acknowledging that I had to be strong for my children. And then at a certain point, it was just completely real for me, because I could just relate to being a mom, being a wife, and hopefully never having to experience that, but I was able to relate.
Well, man, as I said, I feel the concept is like very profound, because if you just look at today's society, and let's just go back almost a year, like now that, here in the States, now that kids are forced to be, in remote learning, you sort of are looking towards, looking at artificial intelligence as, hey, you know what? This is the only friend I truly have, because I can't really see my other friends unless I turn on this device, or unless I take out my phone, or, call them up or text or FaceTime or what have you. So, Ryan, you on to something, brother. You are on to something, and let me just ask, like, where can people, watch this short? Like, how can people view this?
Well, our first world premiere is going to be at the Toronto Black Film Festival from February 10th to February 21st. And it's going to be an online showcase. So TorontoBlackFilm.com, I think it is, TorontoBlackFilm.com is where people will be able to tune in and get a festival pass. I mean, it's one of Canada's largest Black film festival, and it's us telling our own stories as Black people, but more importantly, us telling stories that are universal stories that everyone can tune into. I recently discovered that Ava negotiated the name Sophie in the film, and I recently discovered an AI called Sophia that was out 3 years ago, and I was like, wow, this is so on point. And Steven Spielberg made a movie in 2000 called artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm just discovering this stuff, but these are conversations we've been having for the last 50 years. What would the world be like? Mm-hmm. And even with this COVID medication, people are often saying, this is the mark of the beast, or this is the next step, or this is what they're trying to program us to. And when you think of Jeff Bezos, it's a discussion about data mining and how you can mine this data. So there's a huge amount of concepts in this story. And even though it's a small story, we're looking at how we can make it bigger. But for right now, it's just to showcase it at the Toronto Black Film Festival for audiences to get engaged and maybe have the support behind us as we develop it for them.
Okay, all right. That's what's, hey, look, Toronto people, go support. All right. As you said, the film festival coming February 10th, correct?
February 10th to February 21st. And it's going to be on the World Wide Web, so it's not just Toronto. Anyone can tune in, and you just go to Toronto Black Film or Google Toronto Black Film Festival, and it should come up, and you can purchase your passes and see some of the offerings there.
All right, all right. Now, before I let everybody get out of here, I just have to ask, what's next for everyone? So I'm going to start with Kat. Kat, what's on tap for you? What do you have coming up? What's coming down the pipe for Kat?
Well, I do have to tell you that of all the things I have, in the works, this is one of the things that I'm the most excited about, because it's a very special story. And I've always wanted to tell stories that have something human and something honest and real, and this one does, definitely. I also have a web series that's on Amazon Prime that US, but not Canada, ironically.
Okay.
It's called H.E.N.R.I. It's a genre show. If you just look up H.E.N.R.I, The Return, it comes up. It's a genre show, female-led, supernatural, kick-butt kind of web series. Okay. So I'm very excited about that, and I'm very excited that I recently became a member of the Directors Guild. So I'm really looking forward to what 2021 is going to bring.
All right, positive. Look, come on now. Look, Kat just told me something positive now, Andrea. Now you gotta tell me something positive.
Positive. All right. Well, to be honest, I'm trying to get through this whole online learning stuff because I've got like a bunch of kids at home, and it's like a challenge in itself where I can't even really function. I can't do anything else. Like honestly, it's a challenge, but it is what it is, and hopefully we get through this safely and things will get back to normal. But I'm really excited about this short film. I really feel like it's gonna be big things happening, and I've got a couple of other things that I haven't really started yet. So I'm going to sort of, I don't want to say anything just yet. I'm going to focus right now on just getting the kids organized with school, focusing on Henry, and then take things after that.
All right. Hey, I like that, man. Look, one step at a time. That's all we can do. That's how we get to our destination. I thank you for that. All right. Ryan, I'm bringing it home. Now, you got these two people right here next to you. Now, I know you've worked on other projects before, and I know, pretty much you're going to be, shopping Henry around, man, trying to get it in as many festivals as possible. But if you can just give us a little glimpse into the future, past Henry, do you have anything you're working on or anything you want to work on coming up?
Well, currently, absolutely, there's a lot of projects on slate. I work with these kids and managing their careers, and we're auditioning quite often, all three of us separately. And that's a lot of work in itself. And I also have another film that I've been promoting through the festival called Memento. We just won a Best Canadian Documentary Film at the Toronto International Nollywood Film Festival. And I've got a couple of feature films in development and some TV series projects that I have developing and writing as well. So it's a very busy slate of work, and I'm really excited about the opportunity and what the future has.
All right. Okay. All right. Look here. The cast of Henry, ladies and gentlemen. very, man, look, support, support, support. All right. That's all I can say. That's all I can say.
Thank you so much for bringing us on and giving us our first opportunity to share this story.
No problem at all. No problem. Look, I thank you all for such a fascinating story. Ava and Sebastian, I look forward to you all working in Hollywood because something tells me you're going to be working in Hollywood making a lot of money for yourselves and other people as well. So hats off to you. All right. Hats off to you. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Word with Ty Brownlow. I have been your host, Ty Brownlow. Remember, no one is worthless. No story is worthless. You can follow me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, at Word with Ty Brownlow. If you don't want to go to those, hey, go to my website, tybrownlow.com. Get this wonderful interview with these lovely people, plus other great interviews. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all. Cast of H.E.N.R.I. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.